Immediate moratorium on foreclosures and to bring this issue to the doorstep of the greedy banks. I'd like to introduce again Mick Kelly from the Minnesota Coalition for a People's Bailout.
We have a long and difficult struggle ahead of us. The struggle didn't begin yesterday and it won't end tomorrow. I know many of you were at the state capitol with us this past legislative session, where we pushed hard, very hard, for a moratorium on foreclosures and a moratorium on foreclosure-related evictions. We told the politicians what we need. We need a moratorium now. And they did not answer this call, and this is a struggle that we will continue this next legislative session. Now we are here at Wells Fargo, where the chief CEO just got a $6 million raise, a $6 million raise. This is a corporation that is foreclosing homes around America, and believe it or not, it got a $25 billion, that's billion-dollar bailout from the federal government. That's your and mine tax dollars that went into the pockets of these bad cats. We have a crisis that's tearing apart our community. And we're glad to be standing here today with Rosemary Williams. Rosemary Williams is a woman we're glad to stand with because she stood up and said enough is enough to foreclosures. She has said that she will stay, and she is backed not only by the Minnesota Coalition for a People's Bailout, by the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign. Groups have come together to say enough. We're not going to let these banks tear apart our communities. We're not going to stand still and have vacant homes doing nothing while people are being thrown out on the streets. We know that the shelters are full. We will not put up with this situation. Now, in the weeks ahead, we have our work cut out for us. Absolutely cut out for us. We're going to be continuing to stay at Rosemary Williams' home. We're going to be marching on banks. In this legislative session, we're going to insist that there is a moratorium in Minnesota, a real moratorium that people in foreclosure can get. We are going to put an end to foreclosures in the state of Minnesota. So sisters and brothers, I know there's many more speakers here today, and there's just one more thing I want to say. One more thing I want to say, and that is that, you know, these banks, these fat cats, these big corporations, they don't give a damn about us. And it's excellent. It's really a beautiful thing that we're coming together to look out for each other. We aren't going to accept this. We're going to continue this fight. We're going to stand up and do the right thing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone here.
My name is Peter Brown with the Minnesota Tenants Union, and we'll be hearing from a member of the Tenants Union later on today. But right now, I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Lydia Gaboy has been in the absolute forefront of the struggle on many fronts for the last several months.
I'm sorry.
Change of name, but not in spirit. Angel Buckner is going to be taking it a little higher for us today. From the Minnesota Welfare Rights Committee.
I just have to say that I'm so excited that the Welfare Rights Committee was a part of the occupation of Rosemary Williams' home. We were there with her for the whole 6 days. We will continue to be there with her no matter what. And she had just lit a spark for every person to step up and be a part of saying no to the big banks and saying yes to our homes. I also learned while I was there those days that it wasn't just about foreclosed homes, it was about renters. And renters being kicked out of their homes because of the landlords being foreclosed on. I speak for those people too because I know that it hurts too when you're a renter and you get kicked out of your home and you have nowhere to go and there's no one to turn to except for these people and everybody here, the Bailout Coalition and Minnesota Earth. Yeah. P-Earth. Give me a shout. Those two coalitions have been a part of this fight. And like someone said before, at the end we'll probably never get recognition for it, but who cares? It's that we started this fight and it will continue. I speak for Ann, I speak for Donna, I speak for Rosemary, I speak for Linda, every person that's in foreclosure and every person that's losing their home from being kicked out for being a renter. I just want to say, don't ever stop the fight and keep strong. Say yes to homes and no to foreclosure.
That's right, it's been so important that we're all here, and all the organizations have come together, including the Minnesota Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign, and I'd like to introduce Ann Patterson, who's with Minnesota PPERC and is fighting foreclosure of her own home.
I've been a homeowner for 13 years now, and I am a family of 7. I fought really long and hard to get my house, and it's the American dream, as everybody knows, and I'm not going to let it go. Yeah. President Obama said I am worthy of help to get out of my mortgage crisis right now, but the banks said no, we decide different against President Obama. We decide you're not worthy. Wells Fargo told me that my family is making ample money and we don't deserve any help right now, even though I'm not paying any of my bills but my mortgage. I'm not behind, so I don't qualify. Until I decide to take that risk and not pay my mortgage and start feeding my family instead, then I will qualify. President Obama said anybody that had a hardship is qualified. We were unemployed for a year. That's a hardship. President Obama said if you are a stable homeowner for 13 years or more, you are qualified. We have been in the house 13 years. He said if you owe less than $700,000 for your house, you qualify. You better damn sure believe I don't owe $700,000 for my house. Okay? Wells Fargo decided they are God and President Obama is crap and they get to call the shots. Wells Fargo decided that it is more important to have an empty house and have me and my kids homeless than it is to help us. If President Obama does not wake up and demand that these banks follow his rules, there is going to be more homeless people. There is going to be more resistance. And we are not going to leave our house just because Wells Fargo tells us to. Yeah!